It looked gross, but then Jayson Tatum said, you know what? I'm taking over. Boston Celtics get their 6th win in a row. I'm talking about it right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Boston, baby, we do what you can't. Locked on number 18, Tatum and Brown, J-Team, step back. We gon' wet that and slay teams. Of course, the Celtics, who else could it be? Screaming like KG with the Larry O.B. Karalis above average, assessing the team status. Best daily pod, no cap, salary matching. Clutch like Bird the DJ, keep John on replay. Prime time, dapping up the truth on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. And I'm here for you every day with a free, fresh podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So subscribe. You can watch the show on YouTube. I thank you for making the show your first listen every day. I'm John Karalis, former professional basketball player. Now I am covering the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. And I've written a book called The Boston Celtics All-Time All-Stars. The Celtics get their 6th win in a row, 117-108 over the Detroit Pistons. And the story of this game is Jayson Tatum, his 43 points, 14 of 28 shooting, 7 of 14 from the field, from 3, 50, 80% from the line, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, superstar MVP level stuff from Jayson Tatum. That's the story of this game. The Celtics went in there, look, back-to-back, 3 games in 4 nights. Both teams were on the 3 games in 4 nights grind. They got in there at 3 a.m. It's tough to get into a city at 3 a.m. I know maybe sometimes you don't want to hear about it, but it is tough physically. It's just tough. It just is. Physically, it's difficult to go from a game, get on a plane, fly 600 miles. Doesn't matter that it's a charter. Get to a hotel. Doesn't matter how nice the hotel is. Get there at 3 a.m., turn around and try to play an NBA game against a young team that you beat just a few nights ago, and to try and go out there and play a great game from start to finish. Just not going to happen. So the Celtics came out and struggled. By the way, today's show brought to you by Craic Sauce, Craic Sauce.com, locally made Massachusetts, up in Lowell, by a Celtics season ticket holder. Support a local business, support a fellow Celtics fan, and get hot sauce made with big flavors. It's just built different. And if you want to try it, if you're in town, you want to get a taste of it before you buy it, go to the Black Rose for dinner before a game. They'll have it. You can try it. It's an ingredient. It's not just regular hot sauce that you put on top of something, although you can use it that way. Go to craicsauce.com, Craic sauce.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDON for 10% off. Trust me, if you like hot sauce, this is going to be awesome. Celtics were not awesome in the first half. They just struggled their way through that first half. They were down at halftime. They were shooting 41% from the field, 30% from 3. This is the number 1 offense in the league against the worst defense in the league. Just putting the numbers together, this is a Celtics team that should just walk in there, just run past the Pistons, and doesn't matter if they have a bunch of guys out. They should just run past the Pistons. But no Jaylen, no Horford, no Brogdon. On the back-to-back, on the 3 games in 4 nights, the Pistons didn't have Cade Cunningham, but the way Cade Cunningham played in the first game, that actually might have helped them. He's struggling. But in that first half, it just was like a big bowl of blah. I just thought that whole first half, I'm just sitting here trying to do my job and send out, like I do the live chat on Boston Sports Journal, and some of those get sent out as tweets as well. For those of you who do follow me on Twitter, the stuff that I tweet is part of my live kind of in-game chat that's going on Boston Sports Journal. And I got nothing. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I got nothing. This game sucks. It sucked. Tatum in the first half, 15 points. I mean, it's a nice first half overall. He got to the line. He hit 2 of 5 from 3. That's good. 5 of 12, but it was just like, okay, 15 and 5. It was a good half. That right there says 30-point game. So it was a good half from Tatum, but nothing that jumped off the page. And maybe that's just a testament to how good Tatum is now. So 15 points on 41, just a little bit before under 42% shooting in the first half. Third quarter, also 15 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 62.5%, 3 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, another 3 rebounds, 15 points overall in that third quarter. Tatum, aside from having to leave during a timeout to go to the bathroom, was just going in this third quarter. And the Pistons decided, all right, we're gonna take a lead. And that was about halfway through the third quarter. The Celtics ended up winning that third quarter by 10, and it's all behind Tatum. He had 8 points in that final run. It was a 19-7 run at the end of the third quarter. Awesome just from Tatum. Fourth quarter, Tatum, the closer, 4 of 8 in the fourth quarter, 13 points in the fourth, 2 of 4 from 3, 3 of 4. This is MVP level stuff. This is MVP level stuff. There's nothing else you can say about how well Tatum is playing. The superlatives, they don't even matter anymore. Like what can you say about Tatum right now that hasn't been said? I'll just run down his point totals just backwards over the course of the season. 43 against the Pistons. Then 34, 31, 39, 26, 36, 26, 23, 32, 26, 40, 29, 35. He's the NBA's leading scorer in total points. And the guys on the broadcast, Scal and Sean Grandy, were saying, hey, we should count total points because total points matters. And I agree to a point. Yeah, absolutely. He's 4th in the league in points per game, but number 1 overall in total points with over 400. Only he and Luka Doncic have more than 400 points so far this season. The Celtics are now 10-3. You look at the standings, 10-3, 10-2 Milwaukee. They're a half game behind Milwaukee. The Utah Jazz are 10-4. So the Celtics are a half game behind Milwaukee for the best record in the league. I think Utah is going to obviously, they're going to tail off. They're going to level off at some point. The Celtics have won 6 in a row. They are the hottest team in the league by far. The next longest streak in the league is 2. A bunch of teams have, the Wizards have won 3 in a row. Celtics have won 6. They now are up to a +6 in point differential, which is 3rd best in the league behind the Cavs and the Bucks. Then it goes Brooklyn, Toronto, Chicago, Atlanta, Philly, Miami, Indiana in the East, Phoenix, Utah, New Orleans, Dallas, Memphis, Portland, and Denver in the West. In the league overall, they're 4th best in the league overall. Cleveland, Phoenix, Milwaukee, Boston. Point differential. So Celtics are scoring 112 points. They're giving up they're scoring 119.5 points. They're giving up 113.5. So there's not much more to say about this game. It's Tatum is awesome. Tatum's having an MVP season. Tatum is a god. There's the other players that need to be recognized. Grant Williams, who played 45 minutes in this game, 7 of 12, 58% shooting, 3 of 6 from 3, 10 rebounds, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists for Grant. Taking guys off the dribble, defending well, catching a lob from Jayson Tatum. I had to go back and tweet out the question that I asked Tatum last year. If you remember last year, there was a game in Brooklyn. Tatum had a chance to throw Grant an alley-oop. Grant called for it. He was pointing up, hey. And Tatum took it himself. And afterwards, Grant was like, wow, okay. And I asked Tatum about it after the game back then. And he was like, I am not throwing Grant a lob. I'm throwing him to Rob and Jaylen Brown. Maybe we can work on it. but I'm not throwing Grant a lob in game. And now in this game, by the way, awesome save from Marcus Smart. Gets it out to Tatum at half court. Tatum just nice lefty lob alley-oop. And Grant kind of guides it home with the right hand. Successful alley-oop. That was good to see. Grant was, 45 minutes. That's a big time load, man. 45 minutes is a lot of basketball. And, he's going out there against a big physical team. That's not a team that you go out there and just kind of dance your way through an NBA game. 45 minutes in any NBA game is a lot. 45 minutes against Detroit when you're Grant Williams, that's physical as hell. And he had a moment there where he got a knee where people don't want to get a knee. So he got abused in this game, and he was out there for 45 minutes. And Marcus Smart was out there for 43 minutes. They leaned on their three regulars heavily without three other regulars. Smart, 18 points, 10 assists, 5 steals, 1 turnover for Smart. Talked about Marcus Smart before. I wrote about Marcus Smart. That's now 4 out of the last 5 games with 4 out of the last 5 games with double-digit assists. And in every one of his games this season, minus the Miami game, he's had 2 or fewer turnovers. He had 5 turnovers in the game against Miami. And so he, let me pull it up here as I wrote it on Boston Sports Journal. 48 assists in his last 5 games, 6 turnovers. He has that one game against Miami with the 5 turnovers and no more than 2 in any other game. He has an assist percentage of 28.6 and a assist to turnover ratio of 4.5 to 1. There's only 4 guys in the league that have a 28% assist rate. He assists on 28% of the plays that are out there, and an assist to turnover ratio of 4.5 to 1. So every 4.5 assists is when he turns the ball over. It's Van Vliet, Mike Conley, Corey Joseph, and Chris Paul. Those are the only other guys that have an assist rate at Marcus's or higher, and have a better assist to turnover ratio. That's it. He's 5th best when it comes to that. I know it's like trying to make sliders and stuff where you're like trying to slide the whatever the parameters for the stats so it makes him look good. But I'm just saying that's where I keep saying Tatum. Smart. That's where Smart's assist percentage is, and that's where assist to turnover ratio is. And those are the guys who are above him. That's it. So Smart's having, ever since that Chicago game, Smart has just gone off. Grant was awesome, but Jayson Tatum was spectacular. Blake Griffin started, just to rapid fire my way through the rest of this. Blake Griffin started. He was okay. This is a great opportunity for Blake to play 22 minutes against his former team. He got booed a bunch, scored 7 points, hit a 3, had a nice cut, 6 rebounds. That's okay. And 3 of 6 shooting. Great. 7 points, 6 rebounds. He was fine. Covering for Al Horford. Great. Derek White had 12 points, 4 assists. He had a couple of big shots, but overall did not shoot well. Sam Hauser, the magic is gone, baby, gone. 1 of 6 after a 1 of 5 games. So 2 of 11 over his last 2 games. He'll be fine. He'll figure that out. Peyton Pritchard came in. I thought Peyton Pritchard was going to be the big kind of energy guy. No, not really. I thought he'd come in and make a difference. And he just existed. It was fine. He was on the floor for good things, but he didn't do much. Noah Vonleh was okay. He played 20 minutes and he was okay. That's it. This was kind of a blah game until Jayson Tatum kind of took over and he got really strong support from Grant Williams and from Marcus Smart. So now they play OKC on Monday at home before heading out on a road trip. What is that? Atlanta, New Orleans, Chicago on the upcoming road trip. I'll be in New Orleans because I'm not going to pass up a trip to go to New Orleans. So that's going to be fun. So make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. I'll make sure I'll give you post-game stuff whenever I can here. And so normally it's 5 days a week, but hey, 7 days a week right now because they had post games and they're winning. It's 6 in a row. They're on top of the East, half game out of the top of the East behind Milwaukee. It's a Saturday night. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm having some fun here. So hope you're having fun too. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Hope you want to check out craicsauce.com, CRAIC sauce.com. Use the promo code Locked On for 10% off your order of big, bold flavors, hot sauce built different. I'm telling you, it's not just something that you can throw on top of your food, which you can do, but it's also something you can cook with, use as an ingredient to get some heat and some flavor. It's legit flavor in your food. You want to try it out before you buy it? The Black Rose carries it. Go to the Black Rose at Faneuil Hall before the game for dinner. Have some great food, have some Craic Sauce, and then I'm telling you, you're going to want to buy it. So check them out. Check out the podcast. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. And share the podcast. Tell your friends and family and everybody that they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast. Here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.